Happy International Women's Day, my rowdy ones. We are celebrating today by doing a little cosplay from Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm doing Aloy's hair, and Abe the Babe is going to be the genius behind it all. Say hi, Abe.
Hola.
So explain to me what exactly Aloy's style is and what you're going to be doing today.
So it's kind of similar, like giving some Viking women's hair.
Very Sarah Logan. It reminded me of her a lot.
It is very Sarah Logan.
Yeah.
We're going to go hunting after this. So it's going to be a lot of braids, but not the usual braids that we do, so not so tight. They're going to be a little looser, and there's going to be a lot of twists too. And then we're going to give it a lot of texture to the hair, like you've been out in the wilderness, you know, just the dirt like grinding all through your hair. So it's going to be no clean hair, and then we're going to give you some volume up here too. But it's all twists and braids. So nothing that crazy, so you could easily do this at home.
I mean, people that are talented with their haircut, I don't know if I could. That's why I need Abe in my life. So me and the Babe have been working together for how many years now?
I think, I don't know, 7, 8 years?
We've been working together for 7, 8 years. We first met at the ESPN 15th anniversary shoot. I actually met Hisu and Abe at the same time, and it was when I was first getting started. It was one of my first shoots, and they just had me cracking up laughing the whole time, and I never had so much fun at a shoot, and I never looked so good, and so I got the numbers, and I was like, I'm keeping you forever, and I did. Mine. Abe, you are mine. So Abe is the genius behind all of my braids, like the majority of my hairstyles ever. All of like my entire WWE career. Well, most of it when I had really cool hair was him doing it. And all the intricate braids, all the crazy different designs. I mean, there's a whole lot of iconic looks that he's created.
And I gave her her first braid.
Gave me my first braid that actually inspired my hair from the Expendables, because I was playing a girl named Luna, and Abe did like a crescent braid on my head, and so then we emulated that to make it look like a little moon on my head in braid form in the Expendables. I mean, he literally dreams about my hair in bed and comes up with these like amazing, never done before designs, and braids little heads in his house.
I do. Well, like one of my really good friends says, because I'm always braiding on top of Ronda's head. My friend always says I'm crip walking on Ronda's head.
You are. You are.
So I'm giving you 3 braids on the side, and then I'm gonna start with the bottom because they're kind of stacked in a way. Because it's the first one, and the second one kind of overlaps on top of the second one, and then the front one overlaps the other 2. So I'm gonna start with the bottom one because it's a lot easier.
Is it like a little French braid, or is it like just a braid that comes off?
I'm doing a cornrow because you want the braid to be exposed, so you don't want to do a French braid because a French braid, it's inverted. So I'm doing a cornrow so you actually see the braid. Interesting.
I didn't know there was a difference there. I thought just cornrows were just smaller.
It's the same thing, but it's just like there's different sizes, so you could do different size cornrows. So I'm just doing like a little braid. So I started as a cornrow, but then it comes off your head. So then from there it just becomes a regular braid.
So like a regular French braid, it comes
in. So
a
cornrow is just like the cornrow part is the one that is braided on your scalp, on top of your head, and then the rest you just keep going. So then it's just a regular braid afterwards. But yeah, so we're gonna start with these bottom ones, and then from there I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, and then we're gonna start going up and getting everything stacked and start doing twists. And also what I like to do, because you are braiding hair, so you're taking away hair, I like to also add hair to Ronda so it doesn't take away and it becomes like less hair on her. You want that fullness, that warrior, like Viking, like hair also when she's fighting, it's just whipping everywhere. So I like to add hair and always keep the hair full.
Yeah, especially since we're trying to exactly replicate Aloy's hair.
Give that fullness.
Look at that hair.
So one thing I always use on Ronda that I got her into is Io's formula. And that coats the hair, and it's 3 different steps. It's a shampoo, conditioner, and the serum, but it really like helps keep her hair healthy because it actually coats it from heat protectant and any type of damaging. It just like keeps it coated outside so it doesn't actually like destroy her hair at all. It really helps your hair be healthy if it's dry or damaged or anything. And it also just like lets it grow healthy, so your hair actually grows a lot faster. And it's organic too.
Don't panic.
So it's really good for your hair, and it smells really good. It smells super clean, so it doesn't smell like there's all these chemicals in your hair because it's all natural. It's all made with white flowers.
And it doesn't like weigh your hair down because I'll put conditioner in my hair. I only shampoo like maybe once or twice a week. And then I'm always putting conditioner on, at least on the ends, and then I'm always or using the mask, or I'll be putting the serum on every night, which I always put the serum on every night. So I like slather my hair with moisturizers.
Yeah, it doesn't weigh it down.
It doesn't make me look oily. And a lot of times I'll just let my hair get oily just so I can like brush all the oils down to the ends, and then like go through like a purge once a week. And just like 2 days a week, like after I shampoo, and it's just like, oh. But with this stuff, it's like, it's all the time, looks good. It doesn't get oily when I like really moisturize it.
And then there's 2 serums just for like regular hair, like fine hair and everything. And also there's also a new one that she created that is for curly hair. So it has the extra oils to keep, help the ringlets and everything just like really form and give it more body and life. We've done some crazy...
Dude.
We've been in crazy situations doing hair and makeup on Ronda.
Oh my God, there was so many times WWE where it was like, we're about to go out the door. Remember like Evolution? We didn't like finish the braid until we like walked out the door.
Yeah, because we did like, on the pay-per-views, we really did like very intricate hairstyles. We're like, we gotta show off those days.
Which we learned to actually start the hair before we even got to the venue.
Yeah, because we don't want that pressure.
Yeah, we ended up being down on the wire a bunch of times because, you can't rush perfection.
Yeah, and also there's a lot before, your matches that you have to prepare for, so. All right. Well, we're done with braids on one side. And then what I like to do, just because it is not like the extreme tight ones, we don't want it to be also so perfect. What I did, because the hairstyle, none of it is supposed to be perfect, it's supposed to be messy and everything, that I actually did not use any comb to part her hair. I just used my finger, so there's no perfect lines anywhere. So you want it to be uneven everywhere, because then if it's too perfect, it's gonna look just like you're trying too hard. So we're trying to make it effortless looking. Everyone uses, I guess, their own personal preference of products. I use a lot of different things on Ronda depending on what we're doing to do braiding. When we were in the WWE, I used something completely different. I used a brand called Fat Boy. Today, that one has more of a, grabs the hair to make it a little more perfect, and like you could get them really nice and tight and like get a lot of the flyaways out. Like for this one, I'm just using a dry wax. You can use whatever you like, but I'm using one from Goldwell, and it just doesn't give it a lot of shine. This one is just to like, I usually just use it in the beginning just to start like the braiding part, and then you don't even have to use it on the rest, because also I don't want it to look very product-y or trying too hard. So, but I use different things on her depending on what we're doing. So today we're using the Goldwell dry wax. And
just so you guys know, like no one's paying us for mentioning any product, so this is like 100% generally just what we like and what we use and why we like it, and not anything that we're getting paid to push.
So we did this side, and then you could also pull some of the braid out so it's not so tight on the scalp, and then give it a little, make the braid look a little bigger. So now we did this side. I'm gonna start on the other side and do the exact same thing before I start doing some of the other twists and other braids in there. And then before I also start adding some of the hair, because some of the hair I'm gonna add it more in the back, because that's where it's all falling down.
So this is not exactly symmetrical on the other side?
No.
But it's just same, but
they're
different?
Sisters, not twins. I'm gonna start adding some extensions back in the back, just because that's where there's gonna be no braids at all. I might, just depending, once I get to it, I might add an extension in one of the braids up here, but that just depends on if I'm gonna be secure that it's not gonna be seen. But I can show you later on how to do that too. But right now I'm just adding extensions in the back, so the hair is already fully in there, so I could start working on top, but that's gonna fall on top of all of this hair.
Okay, so because we are live streaming, we have a hard out of this chair. And so we're going to have to transition from pre-stream hair to midstream hair. It sounds so bad. But yeah, we're gonna have to move from chair to bed. And Abe is going to be finishing this lesson live, which is kind of cool because you're going to be seeing this on the recap. Yeah, you're going to be seeing this, the transformation happen during the stream, and the second half of this hairdo is going to be on the recap of the stream. But to get the full hairdo, you're going to be watching this video that you're watching right now, so I don't really need to be promoting it. Anyway, we're moving. Abe, feel free to interject at any time and tell us what you're doing. Don't, feel like you have to be all quiet and cute back there, even though, you're great at you pull it off. You're great.
So right now we're just giving Rhonda a braid on top. I added an extension in the middle to give it a lot of fullness. You don't have to, just depends on your hair. But for Rhonda, I wanted to, so you just have to make sure you put it in the middle and tease around it so it doesn't get exposed. But right now we're just doing the top, because we want to do a really big braid. So I'm just added an extension right in the middle. But there's different ways of doing this too. If you know how to use braiding hair, that you could do it yourself. You could use braiding hair. It's that yucky hair. But for some, you don't even have to use any extensions. That's just a preference.
Let me pause. What are we doing, Abe?
I just did the 2 big braids on the side. We're gonna start going on top, which in the top for the most part is given height, but it's gonna be mostly twists. So all the braids are done right now. So it's just more doing a twist. So I'm gonna do 1 twist going towards this ear and 1 going towards this ear, and in the middle I'm gonna kind of just pin together here and then do a twist over that, so there's not like a loop right in the middle, so it's even in the middle. But once I get there, I'll show you how I do that. I'm on the top now.
Okay, so tell me what you're doing.
So I'm gonna use dry shampoo to give it some grittiness and texture to it. There's different types of dry shampoos. A lot of them are known for, if you have oily scalp, so you have to wash your hair, last it another day. But there's different brands that also give it a little, some other, it absorbs product, but also gives it a little texture and grittiness, but not so heavy. So I like, one of my favorite brands is IGK, and they actually have 3 different types of dry shampoos, different strength levels of. Some of them are more to cleanse and just take the oils away, or some of them are also to give it a little grittiness and texture and nice natural volume, but without looking like there's product in the hair. So because this look is supposed to be there's no product because it's supposed to be back in the day, I'm gonna use this one.
The future.
Back Future.
Back to the Future.
This one's called the Direct Flight. So this one is a medium cleanse and texturizing volumizing spray. So this is a dry shampoo from IGK.
Cool. And just let you guys know, we're not getting paid for any kind of product placement or anything like that. We're just letting you know what we use and why.
Yeah, we're not. But everyone could use whatever brands they like. It's not, you don't have to use this one. This is just what I like to use. So just giving it a little bit in between, because we're going to give it some volume and some texture. And I had irons that I wanted to use, but because of the whole look of everything, I want it to be more organic. So I'm actually not using any. I'm going to use an iron at the end just to give it a little texture out here, but I thought I was going to use irons here, but I think this looks better. Organically, just natural twist. And it doesn't have to be perfect, so I'm not really using that much product on her because it's supposed to look like she did it herself, like out in the wilderness. So I'm not really adding a lot of products in her hair. I've only added this, and then I just prepped her hair with Io's formula in beforehand, just so coats it for any heat, and it also helps make her hair grow faster because there's a lot of vitamins. So, but it was a no blowout or anything for the most part. It just kept her natural texture she already had. So for this look, I recommend not really using any product. Like the least, the better. And then just like for some people, maybe depending, just heat protecting if they need. But I'll show you what I'll do with the iron, but it's going to be very super natural and very minimal. So it has like a natural wave and texture instead of giving it a bare look, because then that would change the whole look that we're trying to achieve today. So today is going to be super natural. Use the least amount of products, and I'm not really even been using my combs or anything. I've just been using my hands to create the lines and everything because I want it to be as natural and nothing too perfect. So just using your fingers is the best thing for this look today. But for other looks, I do use my comb a lot, but not for this one.
Are you doing a twist right now?
So for this one, I'm doing the middle first, but I'm just getting like a little front piece because it's still going to have a little twist on top of it. But because the front one is supposed to be even, I'm going to just tease it in the front right here so there's volume. And I'm just going to pin like behind it and then a twist over that. And then these you'll see a twist, and this is going to twist down towards this ear, and then this one's going to twist down towards the other ear. So I'm going to start just with the middle first. Do that, pin it, and then twist.
How do you do a twist?
I'm not going to do, I'll do it really just quickly so people can see what I'm talking about.
Okay. But
it's just going to grab the hair that you have. I already added some dry shampoo. For this part, I am going to need the comb just because I want to add some volume. But I'm going to just add a little bit. And then when you twist it, you just grab the hair and start twisting it towards the direction you want to go. And you're going to do it slowly. But also you could do it really tight in the beginning, because then once you kind of pin it up and everything, you could just pull with, you lift up a little bit, you pull up with your hand a little bit, pull little pieces to give it that extra volume, but to have that secureness. Because if you sometimes start too loose and you try to do it, it'll fall a lot easier in the beginning, and you want it to last a little bit. So with her, but make sure that you start twisting you start from the front first. So don't twist back here, because then the twist is going to start all the way back here. You want the twist to be in the front too. You want that to be seen. So then you start twisting from the front first. And as you start twisting, you keep grabbing the rest in the back to keep twisting with it towards the back. So the twist you start seeing it right away in the beginning and not the back. Because this way, if I just go like this, grab it all back here and then twist it, the twist is like starting all the way back here, and I don't want that. I want you to see the twist. So I'm going to start twisting over here, and it's kind of, everyone has their own methods. Mine is just like twisting the front piece and then grabbing more hair and twisting it with it. So it's like adding, like if you're braiding, like so you keep adding hair as you twist. So we're going to do this one. Remember, we're going to go down towards this ear. This one's going to go towards that ear. And this one, I'm going to just give it some volume right here and pin this one, because this one I don't want a twist to go pick either side. So I'm going to pin this one, and then I'm going to do a twist on the top over it. But this one you could pick whatever side you want, because this side doesn't matter. Just as the front, there's not a twist like, flipping like one direction. I want it to be even in the front. So this twist could go this way or it could go that way. But everything's going to be just tease it a little to give it that volume, but start the twist where you're going to start the hair in the front, going to the back. Don't start all the way just in the back, because then so that's going to flatten it out, and you want it to give it volume.
Yeah, Aloy knows her stuff.
And Abe, I mean, you basically were like, hey, can you do this? And you looked at a picture and you're like, sure. Like, it's not that easy, is it?
You just have to really analyze the picture and see where you need to start. Like, because from looking at the picture, I saw that the little braids on the sides, like they were kind of laying on top of each other. So to do that, I need to braid the bottom one first, and then the second one to be braided on top of that one, and then this one to be braided on top of the second one. So there's 3 braids here, and like this one starting right here underneath this one, and this one starting underneath that one. So to be stacked, I started with this one first, and then this one's gonna lay over on top of that one, and then this one over that one. So because it's starting down here underneath this one. So you have to start just looking at the picture, like if you're gonna need to do that effect, you need to start going from the bottom one to the top one to the middle one and then top. But if it's like it was just one single braid, I would just start it from one piece or anything. But also, if you see, it's not a perfect line because this is not a perfect hairstyle. So I just parted it with my finger, and then everything has been, for the most part, well, everything has been parted from my finger. The only thing that I used the comb has been for a little teasing, and then to tease the areas I need to clip the extensions so she still has that fullness of the hair. Because as I said before, as you braid and you braid over here, you're taking hair away from her and you're making it seem like she's got less hair, but it's all because it's in the braid. So I still want it to seem like she's got a lot of hair. So I'm just adding clip-ins so she still has that fullness. Once the full hairstyle is done and all the braids, she still has that fullness of the hair of the Viking warrior princess as she is. Mm-hmm. So what I like to do, it depends on what size and seeing the how loose or tighter the wave is. You could use an inch, you could use like 3/4, or you could use 1.5 inches or 1 1/4. So I'm using, this is 3/4, but you have to be careful with this because if you could go really tight. But for other people, use a larger barrel. What I'm gonna use is just kind of do like one circle and leave it like 2 seconds, and then the other direction and pull it away, and then so I'm going back and forth down the hair, so it just barely gives her anything. You can see there's like a little bend, but not too much. So I'm only holding it for like 2 seconds the most, maybe 3, but the longer you leave it, it's gonna start giving it a curl, and I don't want that. I want like barely any like bend to it, but I don't want it too straight. So that's why I'm just giving it. So if you feel like you're gonna give it too much of a curl, I would suggest using a bigger barrel. But if you're confident with the smaller one, it would be great. But yeah, so just give it like one full circle. So 1, 2, and then the other direction, 1, 2, and go back and forth. So this would create a wave and not a curl. So you can see on this bigger piece, it just barely gave her anything, but it's great natural texture, especially for what we're trying to achieve. And
it's a great frame to be frozen on to see her hair.
So I'm gonna do this throughout the hair, the rest of the hair that's down, and it's gonna give her just a little texture, like the hair has lived, through some dirt journey hair. So, and then at the end, I'm gonna add a little of the same dry shampoo that I used up here. I'm gonna put down here just to give it a little separation, and then it would give it a little nice volume to it too. So dry shampoo is not just for oily scalps, but it's also good to give texture and volume to the hair. So I'm just gonna keep doing this to the end, and then for the most part that's on. Then we're gonna find some beads or some hair accessories to finish the look.
Hey, what's going on, Abe?
For the most part done. I just need to find some beads for you.
Tell me about it.
But I'm gonna just add some of the texture that we need, and it's over there.
Tell me about the texture. What do you mean when you say texture?
So texture is, so I'm gonna add like separation to the hair.
Okay.
So just because right now the hair is pretty clean, so I wanted to make it look like it's been lived in for a few days, or in your case probably like a month or something on this journey that you've been doing.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna there's different levels of dry shampoo, or there's also texturizing spray. Just depends how much texture you want to give it. I don't want to give it like crazy amount, but I want to give it some to be seen. So I'm using one from IGK called Direct Flight. And this is a medium volumizing texture spray. It's a type of dry shampoo still. So it's not making the hair so oily. Just have a drier look to it. But there's different ones. It just depends on your brand that you like. This is one that I just like. But you just go throughout the hair and just give it, you know, it's going to give it some volume to it. And it smells really good. But it doesn't make the hair oily. Because there's some that give it a lot of oil, or there's some that has too much powder. So when you spray too much, you could be like see like white spots of just like, because back in the day they used to make them with like a lot of like baby powder and stuff like that. That's what absorbs the oil. But there's different types now. But this one kind of gives it like a very light texture without overpowering it, and still gives movement to the hair. Texture spray could work too, but if you use too much texture spray, it could get a little too gritty. Like it could get stuck together and start, if you're not like, make sure you're not brushing and everything, it could get into like a bird's nest like really fast and everything. So dry shampoo is better for what we're achieving today and the little bit more unkept look. But you could use texturizing spray, but I prefer dry shampoo. So I'm just gonna put it throughout the hair. And other than that, we're pretty much done with the hairstyle, other than we're going to try to find some beads for Ron. But other than that, you see how...
I can scratch my head as much as I want, right? Because it's supposed to be live done.
Yeah.
Or usually like, stop touching your head.
You see, it's good to have, with this look, to add some hair. So it still looks like she still has a lot of hair in there. You see the texture, like nice, beautiful wave.
So beautiful.
It's that Pantene hair.
It's so wavy, it's strong, it's beautiful. Pantene!
But yeah, we did a kind of a similar look when we did the World of Worldcraft.
The Death Knight.
Yeah, but that one was a little different. Like the sides were really tight braids, and then we added like metal chains and all that stuff. But this is a different look than that.
If anything, I did the Death Knight at BuzzCon, and then for the vanilla commercial, I did the Death Knight before it died.
Yeah.
Right?
I like
Pre-death night.
So you're just like a human.
Just a human night.
Yeah. Just a night.
Just a night.
Yeah.
Live night. Like
But
live
you
on
could
Facebook
easily
Gaming.
achieve this at home. You just need, if you could do braids on yourself, like the best thing also, these are the look. It's not supposed to be perfect and super intricate. So if you could just, it's mostly a few little braids, and then it's, for the most part, it's all twist. So that could be easily done at home. So
Cool. I haven't even seen it yet.
but even if you don't know how to do braids, you have someone, a friend or anything, could help you just with those parts. Like, it's an easy hairstyle that someone just could achieve at home. So it's nothing so crazy, and you don't really need that much stuff that you need to buy to achieve it, because most of it's at home. Unless you don't have extensions, but you don't need them. I just like to add them just so the fullness still stays in her hair.
Yeah, and it matches her look as much as possible. And maybe your hair's thicker than mine and you don't even need them.
Yeah. So, it depends. But
There you go. All right, the bead hunt begins.
we're gonna, I guess, make it our own, but still keep the character. So she's got beads, which we don't have. So instead, I had in my kit some bendable wire that I've actually used on Ronda before, that I just had laying around in my kit. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of the beading, I'm just gonna add this to give it that accessory that it needs to have the finished look.
So bad.
And it's also just gonna add some really fun, badass color to the hair. So you see like a little shine of something in there. So it really brings this whole look together.